It's finally here. The Australian Open 2018 draw is here. We've been waiting for this since November when Roger Federer lost to David Goffin. I'm telling you guys, I was up till 3 a.m. I'm talking to Damien on Twitter. Damien's saying, oh, you got the coffee going. You stayed up for the draw. And I'm like, and I fell asleep with Mr. Goat on the couch. I made 4 videos last night for you guys, like a big dum-dum. By the way, if you're one of those people who's a fair weather fan and you're about to check out of here because I'm not talking about the projected seeds, I'll give you the projection right here. I got it from Sports Illustrated. I'll give you that real quick. Don't leave yet for you guys. I know most of you, though, are sticking around because we got a great show today. So like I said, I'm up late at night with Damien. Fell asleep with Mr. Goat. He was on my chest, and then I turned over, and then he was on my back. Mr. Goat, the draw's out. The draw! You want to just look at it later? Yeah, I was up all night, and I'm operating on very little sleep and no food. You may hear the stomach grumble, and I apologize if my hair is a mess and I look sloppy at all. I had no time to work on it or anything like that. So guess what? We're on Crunch Time Coaching now. Make sure you subscribe here because this is the head sponsor for Coffee Break Tennis. There would be no Coffee Break Tennis without Crunch Time Coaching and Peter Freeman. Thanks, Peter Freeman. Big Daddy Free. Anyways, Big Daddy Freeze. Anyways, so let's get into this draw, guys. I got 4 or 5 videos over at Coffee Break Tennis. I'm going to have a women's draw video over there too. We'll do that last because I know you guys want this stuff, so I got to get these videos out as fast as possible. Takes me hours to edit, then export videos off of this slow MacBook. Got to get a new MacBook this year. Australian Open draw, sportsillustrated.com. Venus opens against Bencic. It's my favorite women's tennis player, Venus. That's unfortunate because Bencic is probably my favorite up-and-coming women's tennis player. That sucks. Roger Federer could meet Del Potro in the quarterfinals. So for you fair weather fans out here, here's the projected quarterfinals. Nadal versus Cilic, top quarter. Dimitrov versus Jack Sock, second quarter. Dominic Thiem versus Alexander Zverev, third quarter. David Goffin versus Roger Federer, so that's cousin Fed versus Fed, all Fed, bottom quarter. I disagree with that. I really think Del Potro's looking great. Maybe he'll get really tired and worn down. I don't think so. I think he's very well rested. I think we'll see a better Del Po than what we saw at the U.S. Open, possibly. He's beat Karen Khachanov. That was last night. He's beat El Chapo. These are 2 of the best young players, 2 of the most talented up-and-comers. Del Po's beat him pretty handily. Definitely took care of Chapo easy. Chapo's serve was a little rough in that match. He had a lot of great shots. He looked awesome. I still feel good about Chapo. So, I want to crumple this one up, but it's got the women's projected quarters. But it's so much fun to crumple these things up. Let's go for an overhead. I can't hit a real overhead without smashing the microphone arm, so excuse the ugly overhead. Let's get into what I think is going to happen in this draw. So, put it on the screen, courtesy of Ben Rothenberg from the New York Times. I screenshotted his tweet, and I guess he's in Australia. I hope the New York Times paid to send him to Australia. No one's paying for me to go, but next year I have a feeling we might be able to get out there, guys. Rafa, number 1. Rafa is luck. Now, I made a video all about Rafa's match with Gasquet and what I thought about it, and you guys can watch that at the CBT channel. I'm going to put up, links for you to click on at the end of this video for all the new videos. There's very little danger on the way to the quarterfinals for Rafa, and that's good because he's dealing with the knee issue, and who knows how it's going to feel as he plays these best out of 5-set matches. Borna Coric could happen in the 3rd round. He's capable of good tennis. Diego Schwartzman, we saw him at the U.S. Open. He could be some danger. Only if Rafa is having problems with his own game are these guys super danger for him. If he gets it going by the 3rd round, very winnable matches. Now, watch out for John Isner. He's near retirement. I have a feeling he's thinking that the end is near. I'm not trying to project doom on him, but I have a feeling in his own mind, he's thinking that he's got to make a big push. When you're as big as John Isner, you can't expect the career to go super long. And, he's already fairly old, relativity here, fairly old for a tennis player, especially almost 7-foot tall tennis player. Isner could get to the 4th round, and if Rafa gets through those 3 matches and feels anything on the knee, that could be a tricky match. So Rafa needs to remain fit and playing a high level if he wants to win against a ball machine like Diego Schwartzman or an auto serve holding machine like John Isner in the 4th round. Now, Sports Illustrated, they basically just put the highest seeds in the quarters, and they assume that Cilic will get there. But I'm not so sold on Cilic. Remember, he just lost to Gilles Simon. So let's look back here at the draw, at the Cilic draw. He should get there, but he's been so up and down since Wimbledon. Gilles Simon, Pablo Carrera Busta! Even Ryan Harrison could all give Cilic some trouble. I mean, like I said, he just lost to Gilles Simon. Not a knock on Gilles Simon, but if Cilic is playing well, he should blow the ball right through the court, right through Gilles Simon. Grigor Dimitrov's quarter. So Dimitrov has a good draw too, because we know he had that loss against Kyrgios and he might be a little wounded mentally, but this is good for him because he's going to play a qualifier in the 1st round. 2nd round, he's going to play the winner of a qualifier versus a qualifier. And 3rd round could be former finalist Marcos Baghdatis, a qualifier, a little beast Federer, or Rublev. That's an unlucky one. Remember, in the last video I made where, I don't remember if it was on this channel or if it was on the new Coffee Break Tennis channel, but I said, watch out for Rublev. I don't think he's going to beat someone like Federer, but I think he's danger for whoever has to play him. Look at what he did quarterfinals at the U.S. Open. He's been hot, hot, hot ever since. Danger, danger, danger. Sorry, Dimitrov. Hopefully, Dimitrov gets that serve going because that was the problem when he played Kyrgios. The serve was not very reliable. If Dimitrov has the serve going, if he plays close to what he is capable of playing, World Tour Finals grown-up Fed champ Grigor Dimitrov, should be no problem. Rublev will be a tough match, but that's the kind of match that Dimitrov can win and feel way more confident after he wins it because everyone knows the kid is hot. Rublev's hot, his game. Dimitrov, he's very handsome. The 4th round gets very tricky. Dimitrov will need to win in straight sets against those qualifiers. He'll need to have a solid win over Rublev and be brimming with confidence, overflowing with confidence, because the 4th round, he could face a rematch, Nick Kyrgios. By the way, I made a video just about Nick Kyrgios. I made a video just about Juan Martín del Potro. At the end, I'll show you guys where to click. You can see all these great videos talking about what I think of how they look going into the Aussie Open based off of their warm-up events, their warm-up tournaments. So like I said, bring it back on the screen. The 4th round is tricky. Should be Kyrgios. Could be Tsonga. Could be Tricky Troitsky. Could be El Chapo. Any of those guys could take advantage if Kyrgios falls apart and loses in the 2nd round, which is what he did last year. He never made it past the 2nd round of any of the 4 majors last year. Does that shock you? It shocks you, doesn't it? He did it. That's what he did. So the projected quarterfinal, Jack Sock. I'm not sold on Jack Sock. Who did he just lose to? Gojo. He lost to Gojo. I think it's straight sets. Not impressive. We heard rumors about some kind of injury problems, something bothering him. Nothing major, but I don't know. I still don't put trust in Sock. He's up and down like, a lot of these guys are. Who could it be besides Sock? Kevin Anderson's there. You guys know what he's capable of. Kyle Edmund. I'd say he's danger, but he had a terrible, awful injury against Dimitrov in Brisbane. So who knows if he's able to recover that quickly to be a threat here. I mean, let's just focus in on Jack Sock's part. Yuichi Sugita, he's tough as nails, man. He's a really tough competitor, but he's a little guy. He's limited on power. But my point is, if Sock is playing sloppy, if Sock goes out there playing bad, even Sugita could knock him off. Upset alert right there. Let's downgrade it. Not an upset alert, but Sock needs to play at least 60% of what his game is capable of to get out of that match. Ivo Karlovic is never anyone you want to play early at a major. He could be a 2nd rounder. Cole Schreiber, very tough. Luca Pui, very talented. Dennis Istomin, you know what he did last year at the Aussie Open. He's looking to defend those points. And of course, Kyle Edmund, Kevin Anderson. Sock should be able to come through this, but I don't have all the faith of him, especially after seeing him just lose that match against Gojo. I think it was Gojo. Anyways, sometimes with these tune-up events, you never know what a player's thinking. Sometimes they think, screw it. I've played enough warm-up stuff. I'm just getting tired out here. I'm going to kind of tank a little bit. I'm not saying that's what Sock did. I'm just saying you never know. I didn't even watch that match with Gojo, but not impressed. when at the Hopman Cup even. He was okay. Sascha was decent, but not super impressed. Let's move to the next part of the draw. Dominic Thiem and Alexander Zverev's part of the draw. This is the most interesting wild one that I think could just get way out of hand. That's hard to predict. First off, Dominic Thiem looked awful playing against Djokovic. I said in one of the videos that I might even scrap now. I don't know. We'll see if it's there. But I made a video about Djokovic, and I was saying, like, Djokovic had this look on his face in that exhibition match after the first set where he won 6-1, and Dominic Thiem hit like 30 unforced errors, something crazy. And Djokovic had this expression on his face where it gave me the impression he was thinking like, come on, man, I just needed one match to get ready for the Aussie Open. Can you just hit the ball in so I can get a little practice? So Dominic Thiem could face Steve Johnson. I mean, that should be winnable, but Steve Johnson's tough. Adrian Mannarino, always tricky everywhere, every surface. Dominic Thiem could lose to Mannarino. Wouldn't shock me one little bit. Who else has he got? Roberto Bautista Agut, Fernando Verdasco is hanging around in there, and I believe the Stanimal, which I'm not sure if Stan's going to play. Remember, just a couple days ago, or yesterday even, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? Whatever, very recent, he couldn't play the tiebreak 10s tournament. Stan had to pull out of a 10-point tiebreak. He might have had to play 2 10-point tiebreaks. That's danger. Now, that could be one of two things. One, super danger, like, what are you doing? Are you going to pull an Andy Murray on us? The draw's out, and then he's gonna pull out, The other thing it could be is, like, Stan's like, okay, I'm ready to go at the Aussie Open, but I'm feeling, it's his shoulder that he said. He says, the shoulder, I just don't need to play a couple tie breaks in front of everyone. I really just need to stay here in my hotel or home he rented, whatever he's staying in Australia. I just need to stay here and get good nights of sleep, not go anywhere, keep it real low key, because this is my favorite tournament, and I want to do well. Maybe that's the case. We still wait to see. I won't be surprised if Stan comes out there and plays well. I won't be surprised if he pulls an Andy Murray at the U.S. Open on us. Remember, Andy Murray waited until after the draw came out, then pulled out of the tournament. That's why we didn't have Roger and Rafa in opposite halves of the draw. That's why we didn't have Roger. Roger probably would have made the final. He would have been playing Kevin Anderson or Pablo Carreno Busta or Diego Schwartzman, he wouldn't have had to play Delpo. Okay, put it on the screen. Things get crazy in the bottom part of that quarter. Alexander Zverev is going to meet his brother, Misha Zverev, very likely. Hyun Chung is really good, really dangerous. Tanazi Kokkinakis, really dangerous. Those guys could knock out Misha Zverev. I don't see any of these guys early on. Maybe, Gojo had that win over Sok. Alexander Zverev better get through those first couple rounds, and he's either going to play his brother, Hyun Chung from South Korea, or Tanazi Kokkinakis. Notice I said South Korea, like there's actually tennis players coming out of North Korea. Maybe one day. So wouldn't that be awesome to see the Zverev brothers play in the third round? Very interesting match. But it very easily could be Chung. It could be Kokkinakis. I was watching Kokkinakis days ago, and I felt dumb when I tweeted it because, he's losing a match. I think it's straight sets at the Hopman Cup. And I tweeted out, I'm really impressed by Kokkinakis. And then after I tweeted, I'm thinking, like, people are going to think I'm stupid or something because he's losing the match. But no, really, considering all the injury stuff that he's been through, Tanazi Kokkinakis. So I'll never forget, first time I saw Kokkinakis play, he was a junior. It was at the U.S. Open. Zia Rafa won 2013, I think. And I got to see Kokkinakis play, and I was really impressed. I thought, like, wow, this guy's awesome. He's going to be something. And, not long after that, I saw him playing a tough match against Rafa, maybe 2014, the very next year. Not long at all. He went from junior to playing Rafa. Pretty tough match. Obviously, he didn't win at the Aussie Open. And, I thought good things would happen to Kokkinakis, but he's had a lot of injury problems. Considering all that, he looked really good in that loss. And then I think he beat Alexander Zverev. I didn't see that match. Did he beat him? Comment below. Did Tanazi Kokkinakis beat him at Hopman Cup, or was it just a very tough match where he almost beat him? Either way, Kokkinakis could be danger. He's really hungry, and I said if he has a good draw on that tweet, he could get some traction. He doesn't have a good draw because he's got to play Chung first. Chung's going to be really tough. But if he gets through Chung, I like him to get to Zverev and win the second round. I even like him for an upset if Alexander Zverev is doing any sloppiness in that match. Novak Djokovic, potential round of 16 against Alexander Zverev if he gets through. And he's got to play Donald Young first. Very winnable. But Donald Young, he's fast. He's tough. He's got a lot of firepower for a shorter guy. Monfils. He looked good. What tournament did he win? Doha? Was it Pune? I think it was Doha. Monfils, impressive. No one wants to play him early. And it looks like Djokovic could face him in the second round. Djokovic versus Monfils. If Djokovic is for real, he'll get through those. He'll get through Monfils even. Although that could be a 5-set epic second round. This is going to be an awesome Australian Open, guys. By the way, if you're wondering why I don't have any Federer-related gear here, a troll let me know that I can't be objective and I look like a big idiot sitting here with my Federer gear on all the time. So I got the Chris Evert shot maker. I got a very simple, humble mug. And I got a new segment called Troll Smash, where I take trolls and their comments and smash them. I'll show you how to watch that video at the end of this video because we got the best thing in the whole world coming right up for you. It's the bottom of the draw. Sorry, I'm supposed to be objective. We've got what most people find to be the most interesting part of the draw, Roger Federer's quarter, right here. First couple rounds, easy if Federer plays at 60% of his level. Gasquet, Robin Haase could be the third round, straight sets if Roger can just play a baseline level 70%. Next up would be Sam Querrey, potentially easy if Roger plays a baseline level 60 to 70%. Quarterfinals gets more difficult, but Roger, if he gets through these first matches, straight sets, all of them, let's say, that'd be great for him. He's going to be turbocharged going into that quarterfinal where he's projected to meet cousin Fed, David Goffin, who I talk a lot about in Troll Smash. I talk a lot about Goffin. Show you that in a minute. But I'm more afraid of Juan Martín del Potro than David Goffin, but they're both danger. Fed will need to play 70% at his baseline level, maybe even 80%. But if he does, if Federer can maintain close an average of 80% of his level, I think he handles Del Pot or Goffin, unless we see something like 100% maxed out the entire match from Goffin, or even if Del Potro can just hang around 90% for the whole match, Federer might have to lift his level up to 90 plus. Very interesting stuff here. So, how about that? Cash me outside. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. My projected semifinals, I don't really want to do this until I see some people play, like Djokovic. Let's see how Djokovic looks. I think there was not a speed gun in Kooyong, so I couldn't see what Djokovic was serving up against Thiem. But the Djokovic service motion, it's a little different. He's abbreviated it to put less strain on the elbow, and it looks like he's got a little less pop on the serve, a little less power. I didn't have the speed guns. I'm not sure, but that was what I thought. So, going to be very interesting to see how he looks in the early rounds, especially if he has to play Gael Monfils in, what was it, the second round? Third round? I think it was second round. What a blockbuster second round. It's going to be one of the best Australian Opens in recent memory. This could be better than last year's Aussie Open. So if I go by Sports Illustrated, Nadal, Dimitrov semifinal. A couple things need to happen for Dimitrov and Nadal semifinal, like Sports Illustrated projected. Dimitrov needs the serve to work, and he needs to recover. If he's hurt, I don't know. He could be mentally wounded from the loss to Kyrgios. Needs to recover from that quickly. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's fine. Maybe he's already confident, ready to go. And Nadal needs the body to cooperate. Otherwise, I think he gets there. I think we could see a repeat of one of the best matches from last year, Nadal-Dimitrov semifinal. I know SI projected Goffin versus Fed in the other semifinal, but I think it's going to be Del Pot. And if Fed can win it, and if Nadal can win against Dimitrov. Last year, I predicted a Dimitrov-Federer final, and we almost got it. And we could get it this year. But there's a very good chance we get Rafa and Roger in the final. And guess what? Rafa, who isn't as fit as he normally would be going into a major because he's had to rest so much to get the knee ready, he's going to be worn out. More worn out than he was last year, especially if Dimitrov loses to him in a 5-set epic again, which would be just perfect for the Fed heads. I can't say if it's perfect for me because I'm objective. I don't have a favorite. No one knows who I really like. All right, guys, thanks for watching. let's head over to Coffee Break Tennis, my own channel. Don't forget to subscribe here at Crunch Time Coaching. Crunch Time Coaching is a tennis player's best friend, a tennis player's ultimate resource. Don't forget to subscribe at the new Coffee Break Tennis channel so you don't miss a thing. I will be putting most of my videos there, but we will still be posting videos here for the rest of the Aussie Open at least. Like I said, I got a ton of videos for you guys, and I might not even remember them all off the top of my head right now, so just look at the screen. I'm going to put them all over the place, but click right here to see my video all about Rafa Nadal. Click right here to see my video all about Juan Martín del Potro. Click right here to see my video all about Nick Kyrgios. And click right here to see my video Troll Smash, where I take trolls who comment below and smash them. That's good. See you guys.